Hannah's still clipping coupons like she's broke. What's in your retirement fund, sis? 5 grand? My brother Derek said it loud enough for everyone at the family BBQ to hear. My cousins laughed. My aunt shook her head like she was embarrassed for me. I stayed silent, gripping my iced tea so hard the plastic cracked a little. I didn't correct him. Not yet. My name's Hannah Lewis. I'm 34 years old. I work as a financial analyst for a mid-sized firm. Nothing glamorous. I live in a small condo, drive an 8-year-old Honda, and I don't post vacation pictures on Instagram because I don't take many vacations. To my family, I'm the boring one. Derek, on the other hand, is the shiny one. He's in sales. He's always got a new leased car in the driveway, a designer watch on his wrist, and stories about his weekend trips to Miami or Vegas. Our parents love it. They call him ambitious. They brag about him at church. Me? I'm just practical, safe, invisible. I spent years feeling like I didn't measure up. Like no matter how hard I worked, I'd never be enough because I wasn't loud about it. But here's the thing. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I was building something real, quietly. Drop your location in the comments. I read everyone. The BBQ that day was at my parents' house. Derek had just leased a new BMW and everyone was gathered around it like it was a spaceship. I pulled up in my Honda and Derek grinned. Hannah, when are you gonna upgrade? That thing's a fossil. Mom laughed. She's just practical, Derek. Dad nodded. Nothing wrong with that. But the way they said it, like practical, was code for scared. Later, we were all sitting at the picnic table. Burgers, potato salad, the usual. The conversation turned to money. Retirement, future plans. Derek leaned back in his chair, arms spread wide. I'm living now. I'm not waiting till I'm 65 to enjoy life. My aunt turned to me. What about you, Hannah? You contributing to a 401k or anything? I nodded. Yeah. I've been putting money into retirement accounts and some other investments. Derek snorted. Investments? You mean that little retirement account? He looked around the table, grinning. What's in there, sis? 5 grand? Maybe 10? My cousin Jenna giggled. Honestly, Hannah, you should live a little. You're not getting younger. I tried to smile. I'm comfortable. I have a plan. Derek cut me off. A plan to be boring forever. I'm making real money, sis. Maybe I'll let you borrow my boat someday. He didn't own a boat. He'd rented one once for a bachelor party. But nobody corrected him. Then Dad said it. Derek's got a point. You work so hard, Hannah. But what do you have to show for it? My face went hot. I excused myself and went inside to the bathroom. On my way back, I heard Derek talking to Jenna by the grill. She's never gonna get it, he said. She's too scared to take risks. That's why she'll always be average. I stood there in the hallway, frozen. Average. That word stuck to me like grease. A week later, Derek closed what he called a big deal. Really, it was just a decent commission, but you'd think he'd won the lottery. Mom and Dad organized a celebration dinner at some upscale steakhouse downtown. I found out by accident. Mom sent a group text to the family chat and forgot to add me. When I asked about it, she sounded embarrassed. Oh, honey, we thought you'd be uncomfortable. It's expensive and Derek's paying for everyone. Well, Dad's helping him out a bit. I asked if I could still come. She hesitated. Of course you can. So I showed up. They'd seated me at the far end of the table. Derek was at the head, holding court like some kind of CEO. He was talking about his empire building and his 5-year plan. When the waiter came by for drink orders, Derek waved him over. Bottle of wine for the real earners at the table. He gestured to his end. Not mine. I ordered water. Nobody said anything. 2 weeks later, my cousin got married. Derek showed up in a tailored suit and a rented Rolex. During the reception, my uncle asked us both about our careers. Derek jumped in immediately. I'm on track to hit 6 figures this year. Hannah's doing fine, for someone in a safe job. My aunt nodded. Hannah, have you thought about asking Derek for advice? He clearly knows how to make money. I tried to redirect. I'm happy with my work. Derek laughed. He'd been drinking. Happy being mediocre, maybe. He looked right at me. I love you, sis, but you've got no ambition. You're gonna retire at 65 with nothing but regrets and a used Honda. A few people looked uncomfortable, but no one said anything. The bride's father, a retired investor, watched quietly from across the table. He didn't speak, but I saw something flicker in his eyes. A few days later, Derek called me. Hey, I need a favor. I was at my desk, reviewing a client report. What's up? I'm short on rent this month. Blew a little too much on, appearances. Can you spot me $2,000? I'll pay you back in a month. I hesitated. Come on, he said. You've got that retirement money just sitting there. I'll pay you back. Derek, that money's invested. I can't just pull it out. His tone shifted. See, this is why you'll never get ahead. You're so tight with money, you can't even help family. He hung up. An hour later, Mom called. Hannah, could you help your brother? He's in a tight spot. You know he'd do it for you. I felt trapped, guilty, exhausted, but I didn't give him the money. What they didn't know was that my boring job had given me something Derek's flashy commissions never could: equity. 3 years ago, my firm started offering stock options to senior analysts. It was a maritime tech startup that had just gone corporate. Most people passed. They thought it was risky. I took them. The company grew. My shares vested. I diversified into index funds, real estate investment trusts, and a few private consulting contracts on the side. I worked weekends for high net worth clients. NDAs kept it all quiet. And then there was the yacht. I'd joined a fractional ownership program. 6 of us owned equity in a 50-foot vessel we used for business meetings and corporate retreats. I'd had access to her for 2 years. I never mentioned it. I didn't need to prove anything. But one evening, while my family was still making jokes, I got an email. Subject line: Yacht availability confirmed for August 15th. Your weekend block. I smiled. Closed my laptop. I wasn't hiding my success. I just didn't need an audience for it. After the loan blow-up, I met Paul for coffee. Paul's my former mentor. Retired CFO. We run a consulting firm together on the side. He's the one who saw my potential when no one else did. You know you don't owe him anything, right? Paul said. He's leveraged to the teeth. You've built real wealth. I stirred my coffee. I'm just tired of being made to feel small. Paul leaned forward. Why don't you bring your family out on the yacht for your dad's birthday? Let them see who you really are. I shook my head. I don't want to show off. That's Derek's game. It's not showing off, Paul said. It's standing up. Dad's 60th birthday was coming up. Derek had already volunteered to host a party at some rented venue. He was acting like a hero. I quietly offered to host a day trip instead. I didn't say where. Mom's response was sweet, but dismissive. That's nice, honey, but Derek's already planning something big. Later, I overheard Derek tell someone on the phone, let her do her little thing. We'll do the real party. Then he posted in the family group chat, Hannah, you can ride with Mom and Dad to my party. Save you the gas money. Cousins reacted with laughing emojis. I stared at my phone for a long time. Then I typed, actually, I'm hosting something the day before. Marina Slip 12, noon. Dress casual. Everyone's invited. Derek replied instantly, Marina, you joining a yacht club as a spectator now? I didn't respond. Paul texted me. Ready? I typed back. Ready. The day came. Sunny. Warm. Perfect. My family pulled into the marina parking lot looking confused. Mom got out of the car. Hannah, why are we at a marina? Derek smirked. She probably booked us a little sailing tour. That's cute. I met them at the dock in casual nautical wear. Calm, confident. Follow me. I led them down the pier to slip 12. And there she was. A sleek, modern 50-foot yacht. Professionally maintained. Gorgeous. The name on the stern. Provisions. Derek stopped mid-step. Dad stared. Hannah, whose boat is this? I smiled. Mine. Well, part of an investment group I'm in. But this is my assigned vessel. Derek's mouth opened. You don't own a yacht? Not alone, I said. Fractional ownership. 6 of us share her for business and personal use. I've had access for 2 years. Derek's face went red. Wait, so you rented this for today? No, Derek. I own equity in her. It's part of my investment portfolio, the one you thought was worth 5 grand. My aunt looked stunned. How did you? I worked, I said. Quietly. I took stock options when you all thought I was playing it safe. I consulted on the side. I saved and invested instead of leasing things to impress people. Derek stammered. You let us think you were broke. I held his gaze. I never said I was broke. You just assumed boring meant poor. Paul stepped onto the deck from below and waved. Hannah, caterer's set up whenever you're ready. Derek blinked. Who's that? My business partner. We run a consulting firm together. Weekends and evenings. Dad was quiet. Then he spoke. Why didn't you tell us? My voice cracked a little, but I stayed steady. Because every time I tried to talk about my work, Derek made it a joke. Every time I succeeded quietly, you celebrated his noise. I got tired of defending myself. Derek tried to recover. Hannah, I was just messing around. I cut him off. You asked to borrow money from my pathetic retirement fund last week. That fund's worth more than everything you've leased combined. Silence. I looked at all of them. Now, we can get on this boat and celebrate Dad, or we can keep pretending my life is something to pity. Your choice. One by one, they boarded. Derek stayed on the dock, face pale. The day unfolded beautifully. Catered lunch, smooth sailing, stunning views. The crew knew me. They were respectful, professional. My family saw me differently. Confident, in command. Dad pulled me aside near the helm. I'm sorry, Hannah. I didn't see you clearly. I nodded. I didn't need to say much. Derek stayed quiet most of the trip. Barely ate. As we docked, Mom hugged me. I'm proud of you. I should have said that more. Derek approached last. I didn't know. I looked at him. You didn't ask. He tried to justify himself, but I stopped him. I don't need an apology right now, Derek. I just need you to stop underestimating me. He nodded and walked away, shoulders slumped. I didn't throw that day in his face to hurt him. I did it to free myself. For years, I'd measured my worth by their volume. But wealth isn't loud. Success doesn't need an audience. And for the first time, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. If this story hit home, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. Have you ever been underestimated by the people who should have believed in you most? Share your story below. I read every single one. And remember, the quietest person in the room isn't always the weakest. Sometimes they're the one who's already won. Thanks for being here. See you in the next one.